Okay. I am using the same playlist that I had last week because I just got in from Seattle a couple hours ago and I was like, well, I could either work on class or I could work on a playlist, and we already have a playlist, so we'll have class today. It'll be good. I don't think that you're really going to need anything specific. If you happen to have like thick books or yoga blocks or something and you want to have those handy, they could be useful and you can just kind of pick them up and use them however it makes sense to you. I got back from Seattle. My friend lives in Capitol Hill, so I wanted to check out Jazz, the autonomous zone. And I don't want to say a lot about it. If you want to talk to me about it individually, like, go for it. But one thing that I was talking to another friend of mine about was that, and I just sent them video, and I was like, hey, just check this thing out. And he's like, I feel like it doesn't, what I'm seeing is that this is not proclaiming, like, what the specific message or intention is. And we were kind of going back and forth about this, and it reminded me of this time. My friend's daughter, she came in one day and she was like really excited. She's telling me that her dad gave her some seeds for a couple veggies and she had just planted them in the backyard. And I was like, oh, okay, where in the backyard did you plant them? Because I know almost nothing about plants. And there's a lot of junk and weed and debris back there, and I need to clean out the backyard. So tell me where you planted the kale so that I don't tear up the kale. And then she's like, I don't know. I forgot to label the whole situation. I actually don't know how kale looks coming up either, but I planted some, so hopefully you won't tear it up. And of course I tore it up. I have no idea where it is. I have no idea what I'm looking for. And so her seeds, unfortunately, went to nothing. And I'm not specifically saying like the autonomous zone is or is not a good thing and they are or not doing things right. That's not at all what I'm saying. I want to speak specifically to the idea that if we are not clear with our intention and our focus, things get really, really lost. That when we are not continuing to study and identify and discern where we're at, then we're not gonna be able to handle our circumstances very well. Kind of like if I say like, oh, do you have any requests? And Victoria goes and like examines that, you know, like she's starting to like twist around, like, I don't know, how do I feel? Okay, it feels fine. And you have that examination. And that'll be a part of our practice today, is to really kind of dig into that self-examination so that we really know, like, where are we at? How is this going? What is our experience? What is the truth? And working from that point. So take your index finger and your thumb together and bring the squishy spot of your thumb to the center of your forehead and brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then starting at the sides of your nose, brush out to your temples, along your cheekbones. And then from the temples going down to your chin, along your jawline. And from the sides of your nose going down to your chin, along your laugh lines. And taking your fingertips underneath and behind your ears, give yourself a massage in that soft spot that's back there. The soft spots. And right above the soft spots are some bony nubs that are behind your ears, and right in between those two bony nubs is about the place where your skull and your spine come together. So if you lift up from that point, it starts to lift and separate the vertebrae, your backbones, and it lifts the back of your head where that attachment is so that you don't get that like crunched back of neck place that we often get. It just lines up breathing tubes, so that you're able to breathe more easily through your nose, perhaps, that you have a slightly longer spine with maybe less neck tension. Although we still have not magically figured out how to completely eradicate that. Just doing every little bit that helps. And go ahead and rest your hands down in your lap, feeling that lift up from that point. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes. Just just take a few deep breaths, tuning into this body that you've brought to your space today. See if you do notice anything that you can be aware of in your body, whether it feels good or bad, and how you're going to just be aware of that in your practice and maybe make some changes to a shape or the intensity of a shape to honor that. Knowing that difference between discernment, which is to decide what it is or it isn't, and trying not to be in a place of judgment about it, saying it's good or it's bad. It is or it isn't. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big breath out through your mouth. And again, like that. For 3 ohms. We're going to begin practice on our backs today, friends. Go ahead and take yourself down onto the floor. If you had anything like a cushion to sit on, you can move that to the side. Just come down someplace where you have enough room to kind of move your arms out to the side here. And once you've determined you have that space, just place your hands on your belly. Place the pinky fingers on your hip bones and your thumbs at the bottom of your ribs. So your fingers are splayed out fairly wide. And just take a few breaths, moving the breath through your belly, which, if I'm honest with myself, is kind of awkward when I'm laying down, and it's much more awkward when I'm talking, so you're not going to see a lot of it on me. Notice the sensations that come up with your breathing in this manner, with the way that your belly and your fingers are interacting. And then begin to focus on your exhales. We'll do a few things with these exhales. On your next exhale, see if you can squeeze everything in towards your belly button. And you could even take your hands and physically squeeze your flesh inwards towards your belly button. And then, of course, relaxing it and inhaling and letting that come in. And then as you exhale, squeeze everything in towards your belly button. And then open everything up. And squeeze in on your exhale, and just do that maybe about 2 more times, and just notice the way that it feels. And then relax that. Your next exhale, see if you can draw that belly button down in towards your spine, being strong about it. So you can inhale and feel your belly button float up, and then as you exhale, your belly button just goes and drives right down towards the floor, and it floats up as you inhale, and it drives down and towards the floor as you exhale. Big breath out. One more time like that. Relax and let that go for a moment. I'm going to think of everything that is inside of your belly. Physically inside of it, you have your internal organs, intestines, tissues, blood, air, etc. There's all sorts of stuff. Somebody here is a nurse and she's probably saying there's no air inside of your belly, April. Well, there's oxygen. I don't know, I'm not. Listen to Mel, not me on that. But everything that's inside of your belly, I want you to think of it as being extremely squishy, because it is. And give it the power in your brain of being even squishier. And on your exhale, just allow everything inside of your belly to squish itself down towards the floor, like it's all just going to melt and fall into the back of your body. You can feel it inflate with the breath in, and then like you just let all of the air out of everything. Your liver and your kidneys are just deflating right down towards the ground. If there's other images that make more sense to you when you think of everything just falling and squishing towards the floor or your back, then using those images. Take one more breath like that. Relax it. Go ahead and open your arms out to the sides. Bring your knees towards your chest and let your knees go over towards one side. Just go ahead and take a twist here. And you're early in the practice. We haven't really done much yet, so you might have your knees farther away. You might do some wiggling to get into a good space. And as you're in this twist, think of those 3 breaths that we were just doing. So what does it feel like when you squeeze in towards the belly button while you're twisting? What does it feel like when you squeeze the belly button towards the spine when you're twisting? And what does it feel like when you let the belly get soft and squishy and just deflate? Let everything inside of it just soften and fall back. Take 2 more breaths. Let the belly soften and fall back as you exhale. 1 more breath. And then bring your knees back up to the middle and roll them over towards the other side. Make some small adjustments because they will probably be helpful for you to find a steady place to just be in this shape. And think about those 3 different ways that we exhaled. The squeezing in towards the belly button, the squeezing of the belly button towards the spine, and also the squishiness and the deflating back towards the spine. Just letting that midsection get more squishy, pliable, adaptable. What does that feel like? What, if any, of these different breaths serve you a bit more? One more round of breath. And then bring your knees back up towards the center. Find a steady, even resting of your back on the ground, but your knees are in towards your chest. Go ahead and take your arms a little bit lower. Turn your palms to face down and press the palms down and the shoulders down so that your arms are strong and your chest is open. Take your shins up so that they are parallel to the ceiling, your knees roughly above your hips, and squeeze your thighs towards each other. They don't have to touch, just make sure that you're drawing the legs in. And then think of those 3 breaths real quick. We'll inhale And then as you exhale, squeeze everything in towards the belly button. And then inhale and exhale, squeeze the belly button towards the spine. And then inhale and let everything get soft and squishy and fall towards the spine. Take another breath in. As you exhale, bring your knees 6 inches over towards the right. So it's not very much, and both shoulders can be down. And then inhale up to the center and exhale just 6 inches over towards the left. And 6 inches is less than you think it is. Inhale to the center. Exhaling about 6 inches over towards the right. Inhaling to the center. Exhaling 6 inches over towards the left. Keep doing this. You can go maybe 8 or 10 inches over if you're really firm with the chest and the ribs staying stable. You can use your arms here to support you. It's not about how far you go, it's what does it feel like as you do this. How can you change the breath and the feeling in your midsection to support you, to make this valuable, to make this an interesting experience in your own body. Take 2 more rounds each side. I know it's a lot, especially if you're going really slow. You're always welcome to take breaks. Excellent. You're probably finishing up your last round. And when you do, just go ahead and rest your feet down on the floor. Let your knees flop open. And you can use your hands to catch your thighs if your inner thighs are tender. Or you can let the knees fall down on their own. You don't have to use the hands to catch your thighs. It's just an option. Take 2 breaths here. Big exhale. And then start to bring the knees to face up again. The soles of your feet are planted on the mat a couple of inches apart. Your knees are a couple of inches apart and they face straight up. Turn your arms down, palms down, right by your sides, and then wiggle your shoulder blades just a little bit closer underneath your back. Push down into your feet until you feel the unders of leg muscles working, and then relax the feet so you can feel those under butt muscles relaxing. So as you press into the feet, you feel your hamstrings, your bum engaging. As you relax the feet, you can feel them relax as well. Do that just a few more times. It's just letting those muscles engage and relax. Engage and relax. Once more, breathing in, press the feet down. Breathing out, relax those feet. Now go ahead and start to lift your hips up, engaging those muscles underneath the legs, pressing down into your feet. Wiggle the shoulders in a little bit closer. If you like to hold hands underneath your back, you can, or you can just press those hands down, and you don't have to be in a really, really big bridge. You can think of it more like a ramp than a bridge, if that's helpful to you. Feel your knees reaching away from you, and your heart pulling up like it's going to just fall right into your nostrils. One more breath in, push those feet down. One more breath out. And then relax your shoulders. Take your hips down onto the mat. Relax your feet. And bring your knees into your chest. We're going to rock ourselves up to a seat. And then roll over and find table pose. Take a few breaths through cat and cow. So make sure your hands and your knees aren't too close together. You want to have them right underneath your hips and your shoulders. As you breathe in, drop the belly, lift your tail and your nose. As you breathe out, round the spine. As inhale, finding this cow pose. Exhale, rounding like the Halloween cat. And move through that a few more times. Just pay attention to your breath. Notice what body parts you're using more, where you feel it more. What else you might be able to engage. One more round. And come out towards a more neutral spine. And if you need more squishiness underneath your knees, grab your pillow or a blanket, roll up a towel or something. You're going to take the right foot forward, about where the right hand just was, and you might have to reach it up there. Once you get there, bring your hands up onto your front thigh. And play for a moment with pushing the front foot down so you get those under the thigh muscles engaging and relaxing the front foot. Feeling the difference when you push down on that front foot and when you relax that foot. You might feel when you press into the foot that it gives you a little bit of a lift. It might feel more stable. You're going to keep the left hand on your right thigh. Bring your right hand to your belly. Think of the best breath to make your belly more pliable and adaptable. What kind of things can you tell yourself about making that belly squishy and allowing you to open that belly into a twist? I'm going to open my chest out towards the right side and keep pushing down into that front foot. Keep your hand at your belly for a moment. Just feel everything softening underneath your hand. If you like, you can open that right arm out to the side. And just feel that belly getting squishier every time you exhale. Big breath out. Inhale and come back to the front. Push down into your front foot. Lift your arms up. Go ahead and stretch that belly out. And then bring your hands down. So you're going to take your right foot and you're going to move it out to the right quite a bit. Turn your knee and your toe to face open, and then bring your left hand more forward and let your hips come forward. So your hips might not come really far forward, but I'm going to really let mine come forward because I need to stretch out my hip flexors after sitting for so long today. You're going to take yourself open into a twist out to the right. I really want to fall into this shoulder, but it's bad for my joints, so I'm going to keep pushing down in that hand so that I don't fall into my joints. Now you might decide that your back foot would like to be held, and you can hold onto your foot and stretch your thigh more. If you're not feeling like that's a good thing for your knee, you can't reach, your body says no, don't worry about it, you can still get a really big thigh stretch here. You'll notice there's very little difference in my shape between this one and this one. Yeah? Take a breath in and a breath out. One more round of breath. Then bring your hands down. Start to pull your hips back. Bring your right leg down next to your left. And then the left foot's going to come up next to the left hand. And I'm just going to shift so that you can see me a little differently and I'm not looking away from you. Just bring your hands up onto your front thigh. So you can see I'm not standing on a tightrope. I don't have my foot right in front of my knee. It would be really hard to twist that way. I'm just going to play with pushing the foot down and relaxing the foot. Just so that you know what that feels like. How and does it benefit you to feel that pressure at the foot of the floor? And then try to keep the foot pressure down into the floor so that you get this engagement here, especially if you find that valuable. And then you'll take your Left hand to your belly. I am not mirroring you. You try to acknowledge when I am or am not, because like right and left is really hard. Just like being human is in yoga. Good things that are worth doing are often not easy. Let the belly get softer. Keep thinking of everything in here getting squishier, more adaptable. Take your left arm and open it if that's beneficial to you. If it doesn't work, if it just makes your shoulder hurt or you don't want to, keep the hand at your belly. Notice my arm's not directly behind me because I'm not at a full twist all the way open towards that side. I'm just doing what I can. Make sure your hip isn't lifting up, but you're pulling it back. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then start to face forward. Take both arms up. You can let the hips rest a little bit further forward if it feels good, but keep pushing into the front foot. Big stretch and reach upwards. And as you exhale, bring your hands down. Take the left foot and move it out more to the left. And then turn the knee and the toe out more to the left. So I have this rotation in the leg. The right hand comes further forward. And you're not going to let yourself fall into the shoulder. You'll keep pushing the floor away. And take the left arm up and back. You're going to keep opening the shoulders and opening the chest. You can even look back. It's very dramatic. It feels fun. If the back foot wants to be grabbed, you can grab it. If it does not want to be grabbed, it will let you know. It will often communicate through the knee. You just don't worry about be doing it, it could not be doing it, with no idea, still getting a thigh stretch. Keep pushing down into that front foot. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then take both hands down. Start to walk them back, start to pull your left leg back, and then come to lay all the way down on your belly, so you're just going to walk those thighs back. And lay yourself all the way down, and into the toenail side of your foot, the top of your foot. Reach your arms back, interlace your fingers, and then reach those hands back until your heart lifts up. Reach the toes back. They could lift or not lift, but make sure the legs are engaged and reaching back there. Take 2 more breaths like this. Inhale, feel the chest open. Exhale, reach back through the toes and the fingers. Inhale, chest opens. Exhale, reach it back, and then relax it. Come on down, rest a cheek or your chin, whatever's more comfortable. Maybe your hips wiggle a little side to side. And then bring your hands in by your lower ribs. So they're back behind your shoulders a little bit. Your elbows and your shoulders all draw back. Push the tops of your feet down and send your heart forward as your shoulders draw back, just like when you were holding hands. So you're opening your chest up. Take a breath in. And then exhale, soften a little bit. Push into your hands, press yourself up, and then reach your hips back towards your heels. So in this child's pose, just take 1 breath in and 1 breath out. And then draw yourself back up. Walk your hands forward, lower down onto your belly. Wiggle the shoulders back. Draw the elbows back. Come up, cobra pose as you breathe in. Long and open in the heart. Exhale, soften. Push the floor away. Inhale, come up. Exhale, press back towards child's pose. You can bring your toes towards each other or not. Just breathing in and breathing out. Inhale, lift yourself up. And then maybe this time you slowly lower down onto the ground. It's fine if it's not graceful. Inhaling, cobra pose. Take the heart forward. Exhale, soften. Push up, inhale. Exhale, child's pose. One full breath in child's pose, relax your head. Inhale, coming forward. Little walk of the hands forward. Exhale, lower down. Last time. Inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push it up. Keep those elbows in. Exhale, hips go back. Stay here, breathe in. Stay here, breathe out. Now walk your hands back. Just come up, take this little seat, and make some circles in your wrists. In both directions. L. Castine and Dorothy of Windhands, Dorothea's honor. Witchy Woo, magic, black magic babes. And then take your hands out, spread your fingers out, push your hands forward as you try to push your heart back. And the shoulders wrap down and the elbows point down as much as they're able. And you keep that kind of engagement. You're pushing outwards and pushing the heart backwards as you bring those hands forward and your toes curl under and you find downward facing dog. Relax your head, walk through your heels for a bit here, shift your hips around, do what you need to do. Excellent. Start to bring yourself out into plank pose and just go ahead and lower your knees. If you really want to be on your toes and you feel very strong about that, totally fine with it. I'm going to be on my knees. I recommend knees. We're going to lower down just about halfway. So your elbows are about halfway down your arm. You just want to go down until you touch to your elbows. So go down about halfway. And then push yourself back up. Now untuck your toes. Rest your hips forward. Give yourself a little wiggle. Loosening, working out the low back here, keep pushing down into those hands. And then you don't have to increase your back bend at all. You can just stay here. Maybe you even back up a little bit if that's what your back needs. If you feel a little bit more open now, you might lift the chest up, finding upward facing dog. And then we're all going to press back in a downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. A big breath out, and then come forward into your plank. I'm going to lower to my knees. You're welcome to do so as well. We're just going to go through that one more time. Exhale, bend about halfway down, and then push yourself up, untuck your toes. Let yourself find as much of the back bend as you have right now, and then curling the toes, pressing back to downward facing dog, and bringing your feet towards your hands and your hands towards your feet as you find a fold where your knees are bent enough that your belly touches your thighs. Let your head rock around a little bit. Big exhale. Start to bring your hands up to your legs, your body comes up, you find standing, eventually taking your arms all the way up. Hang out here for a moment. If this is difficult on your shoulders, you can open your arms, you can even just touch your shoulders and keep your arms up. But if you're able to leave your arms fully extended, if you can breathe here, even if it's a little bit uncomfortable, feel your feet pressing down and your arms lifting up. One more breath in. And go ahead and bring your hands down to your heart. Bring your feet together to touch. I'm going to bend into the knees, sitting back into chair pose or fierce pose. Utkatasana actually translates to fierce pose, which I think is probably a little bit more accurate. my hips are back. You're going to think of your belly getting softer and squishier. And then we'll use the soft squishiness in the belly, twisting your left elbow down to your right knee. Now, if your body doesn't twist this much, you do this. Hand to the hip. Hand to the hip. That's a hip. And this is a thigh. Hand to hip and thigh. If your elbow does touch, that's great. And then you're going to use the squishiness in your belly to rotate further. And if that back knee starts creeping forward, you have to push down more in both of your feet. Lengthen the backs of your ears away from your tailbone so you get a little bit longer in the spine. One more exhale. Come back to the center. Straighten your legs. Relax your arms. Just finding the middle. I'm going to shift a little bit so that you can see me here. I won't be mirroring you. I will twist to the other side. Bring your hands to your heart. Sit your hips back. Finding a chair pose. We'll take our twist over towards the left. So I'm going to bring my right elbow down to my left knee. And maybe there's still that little tendency. My hips want to shift over and my knee wants to escape forward. I'm going to push into both feet to keep those hips back. I'm trying to open my chest up. But I can't just think about the chest because the whole rest of my body has to be present and involved, especially the belly that I'm twisting around. So I'm going to let the belly get softer. Continuing to work with that idea to allow a deeper rotation. One more breath in. One more breath out. And coming back to the center. Straightening my legs, releasing my arms down. Keep your legs in nice and close, the arms down, and then lift your heels up. You could lift them really, really high if you have the ability, or just barely graze the heels up off of the floor. So go ahead and lift and lower them a couple of times. See if you can smooth it out. Can you raise and lower slowly? And what does it feel like around your feet and your ankles? Today is apparently not a great balance day for me. I'm still finding this difficult / interesting. If you want it to be a little bit more interesting, you could try to close your eyes. Yeah, limited success today. Last time, go ahead and lower it down. And then you're going to take one of your feet, you're just going to give it a little roll around. Give it some space. Go in both directions. I'm going to take the other leg and just roll the ankle and the foot, finding more space there. And go in the other direction. And then letting that go. So we're going to come into Warrior One. Take the right foot forward and the left foot back. Got some space in between your legs. Take your arms up. Think about bringing both hips and both shoulders to face forward, making sure that your front knee faces the same direction as the toes, but doesn't go over them. Just be aware of what does it feel like in my midsection particularly. Try to square towards the front. By the way, the typical human experience here is it's not super easy and you can't really get fully twisted, fully squared to the front. So we'll play with that a little bit. Lean forward a little, just a little. Take your left hand forward, reach the right arm open. I'm at about 4 o'clock, not at 6 o'clock. But I lean forward a little bit to give my lower back more room. And now I'm twisting and allowing my belly to soften and open outwards here. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more round of breath. Big exhale. Come back to Warrior One. Does it feel any different? Is it just hard to keep bending into that front leg? Just notice what's going on in your body in this shape. One more breath in. One more breath out. Bring your hands to your heart, step up, and then step the other foot back. Take the right foot back, and then taking the arms up. See about squaring those hips forward. I know I'm wearing black shorts, but you can still kind of see it's still hard for me to get that hip directly forward. Just there's a little bit that it doesn't go. There might be a lot of bit on you. There's a lot of bit on me, depending on which side it is. Take one more breath in. Breathe out. Lean a little bit forward. Take the right arm forward and open that left arm out. And as you soften into your belly on your exhales, what happens with that twist? Be careful that this knee is not falling in and the hip isn't going out to the side as you twist. Bring it back. One more breath. Back to face towards the front. Notice if it's changed. Maybe you're just glad to not be twisting anymore, or you're glad to know that we're about done with Warrior One. What's true for you right now? Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the hands down. Step both feet up. Come to standing. Give a little wiggle out. When I come into Warrior Two, go ahead and open your legs. I am going to mirror you now. Go ahead and take your right toes out to the right, your left toes in, then into the right leg. Find Warrior Two. We're going to slide right out into side angle. Reach the right arm out, bring the elbow down, take the left arm up and over. And then let this belly get a little bit softer as you reach that shoulder out, as you reach the foot down. Breathing in, breathing out. And then start to take this up. You're going to shift from Warrior Two into a lunge. So you're going to lift the back heel this time and take the arms up. Stay there, I'm going to shift a little bit. So my feet are not one in front of the other. I've got a little space. Bring your hands down. Lean forward more than you did in Warrior One. Don't let this hip fly out to the side. You're going to bring your elbow down towards your knee. Or hand to thigh and hand to hip. When you get here, find something to look at that's not moving. You're going to try to open the top shoulder, soften the belly to allow the rotation. Maybe you get a little more twisty. Maybe you fall over. This is a really hard balancing pose, to be perfectly honest. Big exhale. And then to make things really fun, can you step up into that twisting chair? Can you bring the back foot up right next to your front foot? You can take a couple little scooches or just go for it. And then when you get there, come to the center, go ahead and stand up. Ugh. Okay. Last strong standing thing, just to do all of that on the other side. So bend into the left leg, coming into Warrior Two in the other direction. And then you're going to reach right out and over, bring the elbow down, and the other arm up. Don't let this arm be just like flopping out, yeah? Use that arm, make it be strong against your leg. And then let the belly get softened so you can really expand the back body and the side body. One more breath in. One more breath out. Start to take this up. You're going to shift now into a lunge. So you're going to lift the back heel so everything faces forward and is squared forward. And then you're going to bring the hands to the heart, lean forward, and try to hook the elbow on the knee. Now, I can just have my hands over, but I'm not really twisted that much. If I want to get more twisted, I need to really lengthen my spine, reaching the ears away from my shoulders, and then soften the belly and roll the rib cage over towards my hands. Keep pushing into your front foot so that that hip doesn't glide out to the side. One more breath in. One more breath out. Now look down at your front foot. If you do want to try it, now is when you bring the foot forward, finding chair again. And then unwind. Come to stand up. Wiggle it out. Real quick quad stretch before we start coming back down towards the ground. If you want to hold on to something, hold on to something. If you want to practice your balance on your own, you're just going to grab the foot. You might grab with both hands. Don't worry about creating a back bend. We haven't done a lot of them. If you really wanted to, you could. If that's calling for you, go for it. But just think about folding this leg, opening this hip for a moment, stretching the quad. What helps me get the middle of the quad is to think of my hip bone just kind of sneaking up towards my belly button a little bit more. There's like something that makes the middle of the quad fire with that. And gently, slowly release the foot. Just find the other side. Doesn't matter which one you do. Just as long as you do the other one. So often the knee kind of wants to go out to the side. You can see I still do it a little bit when I'm not really paying attention. I want to bring the legs down, keep them in the same line as when I'm standing. Open this hip. Maybe think of this hip bone coming upwards towards the belly button. Seeing if I can really get the full level of extension. Stretching my quad. Breathing in. Breathing out. Slowly release that hip. Mix out a little bit. So this next thing that we're going to do, if you have yoga blocks, grab them. If you have something that you just want to be closer to, just to check your balance, just be a little closer. And bring your feet together so that your big toes touch. Bring your hands to your heart. You can bring your hands to the ground or wherever you need, whenever you need to. But see about squeezing your thighs together and sitting your hips back towards chair pose. And then you're going to keep lowering down until your heels lift and you come to sit on your heels. Now I have my bed a little bit closer so I can do this when I need to. Your ankles are going to want to flare out a little bit. Try to squeeze them in. Try to squeeze these inner thighs in. Maybe your hands come together. And shift. Try not to be, it's hard for me to do it. Try not to be here. So my spine is curved. I want to be a little bit more stacked. Now here's something interesting. Can you twist this a little bit? Can you let your belly squish you into that twist? Are your knees going opposite directions now? I hope not. I'm sure you're doing great. And then come the face forward. See about twisting the other way. Don't watch me that closely. If you look at me and I move, you might fall over. Not my good side, that's okay. And then come back to the center. And we're going to bring the hands down. Find a forward fold. You're going to stretch out those legs. You can have very bent knees. They don't have to be straight. You could also be holding your shins and not the floor. Maybe wiggle your neck and your head around gently. Excellent. Then go ahead and walk your feet back and your hands forward, finding downward facing dog. Pull your head around a little bit. Feel the hands pressing down so that the heart floats up. Breathing in. Breathing out. the hips back to sitting on your heels. If this does not feel right for your knees or for your feet to sit this way, just uncurl the legs and sit on your tush. Leave your legs out in front of you. I'm going to take the right fingertips down to your side. If your arms are a little bit shorter and you need to put anything at all underneath your hand, it can be like a pillow or a blanket. But you want to have your fingertips touching. And we're going to take the fingertips over and reach the other arm up. Now as you find this side bend, don't make it a back bend if you can. See about keeping the spine straight, about reaching the ears up, softening the low ribs down, and finding some space all the way down the torso. Breathing in, breathing out, and start to come up. And we'll find the other side, taking the hand down, and then reaching the other arm up. My arm is in front of my face. My ears are lifted. I'm trying to sit with even weight on both of my hips. Letting the ribs and the belly fall back gently. So I'm not rounded, but I'm sure that I'm not arched in the back. Fairly sure, at least, as much as you can be. Breathing in. Breathing out. Start to take yourself up. Wrap the elbows around, one arm on top, palms together, or give yourself a hug, or squeeze the elbows and the palms together. So many options. Now do soften and round into the spine a bit. It's more upper back. Just a little. Finish your exhale. And then just switch the winding of your arms so that you have the other direction. So you have the eagle arms, or a hug, or the untwisted eagle arms. And it's just that small upper back drawing in. Breathing in. Breathing out. Unwind your arms. We're all going to take the legs out in front of us. If you did all of that with your legs out in front of you, awesome. Not super necessary to be there. It was just giving a chance to stretch out the quads. So take your hands, just place your palms on your knees. Don't apply any pressure. Just move your hands on the skin. So the skin and the connective tissue, just move around, get a little massage. And then you're going to keep your flesh out and behind you, so it's going to help you to sit up a little bit taller. Your legs can be bent, they don't have to be straight, but if you can make them straight, you'll engage those quad muscles. We're going to take the arms up, and then bend into, let's say, your right elbow and hold on to it with your left hand. So let's stay there, reaching the elbow up, the belly back, the hips down, the legs nice and straight. Other option is to take the other hand and reach it up behind your back. And you don't have to hold hands of yourself. You can't tell. Am I holding my hands? Am I holding my shirt? Am I faking it? Who knows? Who cares? Reach the elbows away. The belly in towards the spine, softening towards the spine. Maybe you play with those 3 different kinds of breaths and see what was really working for you. Breathing in, breathing out. One more round of breath. Can you rest your head back a little bit more? What does that feel like? Exhale. Relax your arms, unwind them. Go ahead and lean your hands back so you can give your back a little rest. Sitting up straight is hard. It just is. All of these things that we sit against all of the time, those muscles get a little bit weaker, and that's why we do this. We just keep doing the best we can. because you got the other arm to stretch out. So I'll show you on the side. You got legs straight, move the flesh, and then take the other arm up, bend into your elbow. You're gonna hold on to it. Now, I'm trying not to be here, yes? It's okay if my legs are bent, but I really want to lift up and extend that spine. And I want to lift my ears up to be sure that I'm not doing weird things with my neck, even though my arm's back there behind it. And then you can take your hands up and hold hands or not hold hands. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is that you are not causing yourself any sort of serious injury, discomfort, unnecessary pain, worry, physical or emotional. It's just cow face arms. You're not a better or worse yogi because it is or is not easy for you. What's your breath in this moment like, and is the rest of your body still active? One more breath. Can you let your head rest back? What is that like? And then relax your arms, slowly unwind them if they're wound, and then take your hands back, let your legs relax. Okay. We are going to come up into camel pose, and this pose is going to be an opening out and forward, so since you've got your hands back here right now, go ahead and push into that and feel your heart opening out and forward. The sun comes. Okay. So we're going to move up into that shape. We're going to come up onto our knees again. So now that you're here, you're up on your knees, you're going to curl your toes under so that engages these under butt muscles. What this is doing is I want to keep moving my hips forward. I want to create a circular pathway as much as possible with the body. So you can think of everything going forward and up. And yes, it does start to come back, but it doesn't go like up and back. It's forward and continuing that arc. Yeah? Start with your hands in the imaginary high-waisted jean back pockets that you always have for a nice long spine. And we're going to feel first that energy going forward. It's just a bit. Now think of your hip bones. Let the hip bones start to go forward and up. Let the heart start to go forward and up. Let the collarbones go up. Maybe your gaze keeps going up and up and up. And as your gaze goes up, your head does start to come back. It does not have to go back far, especially if your neck is not feeling good with it. Then you just keep the head on the spine, and maybe you think of the crown of your head going up more. Now, if it feels interesting to you, you can take a hand back towards your heel. Notice my hips didn't have to dump back in order for me to do that. So if you start to take your hand back, and there's discomfort here, or your hips have to drop back, then you're going to come back up and maybe you just fake reach for your heels. Or you could take one hand back to a heel, keep lifting and opening the heart forward. Maybe you just do the one, and then you switch to the other. Maybe you find both, and it's just fingertips. Now you're thinking of going up and forward and open. If your hands are still in your back pockets, to keep your back healthy, and for you to feel confident and interested in what you're doing and breathing in this shape, then that is a much better practice for you than to try to just go really far and not think about it, not notice it, not be present in it, not to label the seeds and understand what you've planted. One more breath in. Exhale. Draw the belly into the spine. Return your hands to your hips if they moved. And then you're going to soften the hips back. Untuck your toes. Sit back towards your heels. Sit over towards one side. Just going to scooch your hips over here. I'm scooching over. And you can mirror me if you like. You'll just take whatever side your feet are on. You're going to reach that arm out. And then relax your ear to the opposite shoulder. So hand, same direction. Here, reaching away from the arm. And then keep the head tilted. Slowly bring your nose down towards your shoulder. Breathing in. Breathing out. Gently lift your head up. You're just going to shift your hips over to the other side of your feet. So the side with my legs, I'm going to reach out towards that side. Just active fingertips. My ear goes towards the opposite shoulder. Keep reaching through those fingers. On your next exhale, roll the nose down towards your shoulder. Keep reaching those fingers. Slowly and gently bring your head back up to the center. And then we're going to start transitioning down onto our backs. So when you get down there, taking a while, coming down with the feet on the floor. Take your arms open to a place that's comfortable to you. Let your knees start to gently roll side to side. Just taking a slow, inquisitive journey of the legs moving in both sides of the twist. If you get to a place where one feels really good and you want to stay there for a while, you can hang out. You don't have to keep moving. Try not to move fast. See what comes up for you as you go side to side. The next time you go over towards the left side or the second side, whenever you're evened out, you'll just start to come back into the center. And when you get back to the center, bring your knees into your chest, hang on to your shins or your thighs, wiggle around a little bit. Just working around the back tissue muscles, getting them looser, so maybe the lower back is a little bit more open and soft, especially after that deep back bend that we did. Did a lot of twisting, which is good hip work. Did some shoulder work and some belly heart opening. I'm going to wrap up with some fairly deep hip opening. You're going to take your right leg and cross the right thigh over your left thigh, and you're going to reach from the outsides of your legs to hold on to your shins, or maybe your ankles, or maybe the outsides of your feet. And we're going to get kind of deep into the hips here. You do this by breathing, so you're giving your body permission to relax, which might relax your hips a little bit closer towards the floor. Maybe this just gives your hips permission to relax towards the floor, and that changes the way that it feels. If you have a lot of rotation in this manner, you might start to kind of lift and open your feet a little bit more. If that doesn't feel useful to you, don't worry about it. Honestly, I just kind of like to stay a little bit lower and really work on dropping the hips down. I like to throw things out that you might find more interesting because it's your practice. One more exhale. And release your hands. We're going to cross the other way with the thighs, so you have the other one on top. And then you're going to reach outside of the legs to hold on to, it could be the knees, maybe this is all that you're grabbing, and you're like just kind of resting here. here and trying to rest here. And maybe you get to the shins and maybe you get to the feet. What can you breathe softness into so that you can feel more? What can you stop trying to control so that you can experience more? The body wants to be right about everything. It's a survival mechanism, that's okay. But when you stop that rigidity in the body, when you give it permission to experiment, to learn, to notice, to feel, that's when the practice really starts to open up. That's when we change and we grow. Give yourself permission to be adaptable. Big exhale. And release your feet, unwind your legs. We'll just take Happy Baby to close off with, because most of us find this to be a little bit more pleasant of a hip opener. You'll just reach for either the outsides of your feet or your ankles, your thighs, of course. Those are always available to you. If there's anything else you need at the end of your practice, we're not going to close with a twist, because I did a lot of twists we all did a lot of twists earlier. If you want a twist to take before Shavasana, you can do that. And if you're ready for your final rest, you'll go there. So just starting to work your way towards a place where you can be comfortable and peaceful for a little while, whether you do that right now or need a few more breaths, movements, shapes. You're welcome to take a seated meditation. If that works better for you, you can place your hands on your body or leave your arms open by your sides. If this corpse pose, Shavasana, feels uncomfortable in your lower back, then try bending the knees and letting them fall against each other. That can be a little bit more supportive. A lot of time in our practice of yoga having deliberate control over the breath. For some of us, that's hard. For some of us, it's another gold star that we get by saying like, oh, I can control and I know this. Yes, do and do not. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep doing that. Stay in control, stay present the whole time. I got this. And for those of us, it's a little bit harder to let go of that control of the breath. To simply be here, surrendered and still. Give yourself grace, whichever sort of person you are in general or today, because sometimes it's different. Rest well. to breathe a little bit deeper, coming back to your body. Without any rush, without any intensity, start to gently roll yourself over to one side. Just follow the body, curl inwards, be soft with yourself. Offer yourself gratitude for taking this time for your practice, for having the ability to practice together across these distances, these tools that we have available to us. And continue to take time and softness as you begin to bring yourself up to your own version of a comfortable seat. Sitting however it makes sense to your body. Bringing your hands to your heart if your seat allows that. Maya Angelou, paraphrasing a little bit, she said, when we know better, we do better. And we learn very, very little, if anything, when we're talking, when we are expressing our ideas and experiences and opinions. And they are all valid, and they inform us, and they're a part of our experience, and I just absolutely wish upon us all that we can be cognizant of this need to listen and process just as much as we know and we feel and we think. We'll seal our practice with an Om. Take a deep breath in. Down to the love and light and darkness, all of these things that reside within each of our hearts. Namaste. Thank you for being here, friends. I very much do value your opinions and feedback on this class, so please let me know what you think, what does and doesn't work for you folks. Oh, hey, Raina made it. Hi. So yeah, please do reach out. You can pop it in the chat. You can message me directly. You can pipe up right here. I will post this in a little while. Wednesday is the Rhodes Entertainment streaming, so that's June 17th, Pacific time. 4 p.m. Goes for about an hour. I'll play different music and do different stuff. I know I often do kind of the same thing, but that'll be the case.
Yeah, it's really good.
You like it? Go.
Yeah. Yep. We're working on a whole bunch of stuff. So like doing repetitive things is the hip opening, all the shoulder stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Awesome. Good. Sweet. Yeah. Anybody else? Thoughts? You don't have to pop up if you're nervous. But okay. If you're able to toss a couple bucks in, the PayPal address is in the event. April kind of rocks on Cash App if that's a thing. If you're not in that place, I'm really glad that you are here and you do not have to send anything. It is really not that important. I just mentioned it because it, anybody who does toss down kind of allows this to stay really open to anybody who finds it beneficial to be here, and I hope that it is. Oh, hi Alex too. Hello. All right. Let me know if you need anything, if you have thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, ideas of music to listen to. Dancing. Cool. Okay.
Oh, what was that